What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and welcome to Screen Fiend, the very first video I've done on this page. And on this page, I will be doing movies, film, whatever, television, silver screen, doesn't matter, actors. That way we keep everything separated, so this is different from my hip hop page. And if you like hip hop and want to go to the hip hop page, go follow Carcino for Life and get caught up there too with the million playlists. But I'm separating it so people don't get confused and get lost in the shuffle trying to find things that they are looking for. Now, let's go into this. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Who's gonna feel? Now, I've seen part 2 twice. I saw it before, and then I saw the marathon with 1 and 2. Watching it with 1 and 2 is a lot different than watching the second one. You get to see how much better the first one was. In this film, they lose a bit of the essence of what the first film had because you really didn't know too much about the characters if you were just walking in. Let's say you were just walking into a movie theater and just walked in and you plugged in there. It had a lot of heart into it. This one tried to have heart, but it didn't work. It never really connected until the end. And I don't want to go and tell too many details there. Let's go through the plot first. Now, after the first Guardian of the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Galaxy become what you would call heroes throughout the galaxy, and people hire them to do jobs. So that's how they make their money and survive in the universe. So now they're going around doing these jobs, and one of the jobs go wrong, and it's their fault. One of the members there, because they're all, even though they're a family, everybody is still an individual, and no one knows how to bond together and be a unit. Still at this point in juncture, everybody have their own, you know, idiocracies or whatever you want to call them. That are just it's about me, 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 me. So of course, Quill, who is Star Lord, finally meets his father and Kurt Russell. And here you see the bonding of father and son, and it's a good feeling for him because he was always wondering about his dad and why his dad left his mom. So you find all those things out in this film, and it's played out. The scale of the film is great. Like the background and all, you're like, wow, this is amazing. How they did this, man, it looks great, especially in IMAX. You're gonna love it. Now, the thing that blew my mind the most was the fact that they dip into Yandu's character a lot. You start to learn little things, more things about Yandu and what happened with him and his career. Sylvester Stallone makes his cameo appearance, but you find out what happened with him, and you find out what happened in his life and why things went wrong and why he's, where he's at in his position. Then his sentiments that he had for Star Lord in part one. A lot of things in part one was explained in part two, and you kind of knew why certain things happened the way they did. So we're gonna do it like that, and basically that's it. It's hard to do this without doing a spoiler review. So since this is the first video we're gonna do, I tell you what, if you don't want to hear anything about the spoilers, this is a good time to jump off because right now we're going to go into the spoilers on the same video. So if you're satisfied right now, you're ready to go see the film, go see it. that I rated 3 stars out of 4. It's not better than the first one, but it's 3 stars out of 4. Enjoy yourself. You're gonna have a good time. Some of the jokes were stale, didn't hit, overplayed in situations, but overall it was funny. It was good. It's an entertaining movie, but not better than the first one. Now, for everybody who stuck around and said, "I'm with you," let's get to the spoilers. Let's get to the grease. All right, here we go. Now, when this film starts off, they got the song I like. All the songs match and link up to moments in the film. That's what I like about the music and the soundtrack. That's what I liked about the first one. Now, going into this, Aisha from the Gold Lady standpoint, and I didn't like how they made her like she was gonna be the main villain and have her just meaningless. And just like she's all made up to be like, oh, okay, she's gonna be something really great. And then they turned out and she's just like this goofy blonde, basically. Even though they're supposed to be a perfected race, all the gold people, they are very timid into going into combat because they fear losing life. Because they feel their lives are so valuable. They were like useless in the film. I mean, completely. Until the very end. Where she's gonna be the one to develop Adam. You see the Adam, the loom tomb that they have, the cocoon he's in, and she's developing the perfect man, and he's gonna go and avenge and get revenge and all this stuff. Adam Warlock. Now, but before that, we skip around to who is the villain. Ego, the living planet. Kurt Russell is also Ego, the living planet. He's actually a planet who can transform himself into human form and go to other places like Earth and everywhere around the globe, and he could put pieces of himself on the planets. And he ran into Star-Lord's mom, and they actually conceived him, just like he went to other planets and conceived other kids. What he was trying to find was someone who had the same power as he did, who he could, go throughout the universe with and make babies and whatever and have the energy to keep going. And he loved it. He finally found one of his seeds that could do it. Now at this point, he hadn't divulged that plan to Star Lord, so he didn't know anything about it. And the fact that Rocket, for some dumb reason, decided to steal from the people, the gold people, this movie would have never went this way had they just left. All they had to do, but Rocket, once thinking about himself, wanted to steal these little gold light bulbs from them, and now they feel betrayed. Because Rocket's thinking of himself once again. And he do what he want to do when he want to do it. So, anyway, he's out. They're going out there. They running the Ego. And this is where it kind of got like a mess. They just had like one action scene just to keep people from being bored, and then didn't have another action scene for a very long time. It was more story. Then she wants to have them found, so she hires Yandu and says, I need your help, and helping me find, Quill and bringing him to her. And he has no intentions of doing so. The rest of the crew, they want to get their money. So you have dissension within the ranks. One Laserface or Taserface, whatever, wants to be in charge, and they make a joke about his name through the entire movie because there was a Taserface in the comics. He didn't look this way, but still, they just made that joke. Just went too far, too long throughout the rest of the movie until Taserface was no longer around. Now, here's the problem I had with the movie. Once it's realized that Kurt Russell killed Quill's mom, put the tumor in her head because he basically was looking and searching for all his kids, and once they turned out to be failures, he just killed them. He had no more use for his kids, so he was killing them off, and this is why Yandu never took Quill to his father after he saw he dropped those other kids off for him because he hired him to do so. Once he didn't drop this kid off, it was because he saw what was happening. He was like, I'm not going to take this kid to him. And he broke his code. And that way he was disbarred or kicked out of the Rangers or whatever the thing they are, Rangers, whatever. He was kicked out and they had rules and he broke the order and all kind of stuff. So um I just felt Kurt Russell's role when they were gonna do the Ego, the planet, the monster planet, and have him do the Ego, the planet, whatever, and battle with Quill. I just think they should have had more of Kurt Russell in his human form, fighting more. Even though they'd used a lot of sci-fi and all this stuff, it kind of like lost a lot of its luster because you were connected to Kurt Russell. You've been seeing him as the human. Then he goes back into the planet self that he is, and it didn't come out right. I don't think so. In hindsight, I would say the movie is good to watch, but I just had problems with those things, just small things. And I was disappointed I didn't see Thanos, but I guess because Thanos is going to be in the movie next year, so we finally get to see Thanos. Well, hopefully, we get to see him in part one and part two of the Infinity War. Oh, and I'm going to bed. This is Carcino for the Screen Fiends. I'm out, and this is video one of many more to come. Good night.